again. Are my two beta fish in their 20-gallon tank. We have Crimson on the left, and we have our new little guy, Prism, on the right. It seems to be that we thought that Prism was a female since it said female on the container. Now, I can't be positive, I'll have to double check, but I could have sworn the last time I looked that beta fish females don't display, and little Prism's cup stated that Prism was a female. I don't think so, because Prism has been displaying to Crimson when Crimson isn't so involved in displaying to himself in the reflection in the glass of his tank. So, needless to say, I can't be sure. So here's our little guys. Let's see if I can expand this for you. That way you can get a better look at Crimson on the left and Prism on the right. There we go. Ooh, Crimson's trying to be a toughie. He's showing off, and he's doing his little slap-a-tail motion, I call it. When they literally take their tail and slap at something to show how powerful they are. Crimson, as you can see, has grown significantly. He's at least 3 inches long, and his fins make him even bigger. This is what the ultimate male beta fish wants to look like, with his grand wavy fins. The more his fins grow, the more beautiful he appears to a female. And it turns out females prefer red beta fish. So, right now, our little guy, Prism, is full of beans and having fun. There he is right now. Isn't he adorable? He's just a little guy though. Now, I'm guessing he's a male because he has tried to display with Crimson. And only a male would do that. There's no reason for a female to try to display to a male. The only thing I can think of is that our little Prism on the right now is mislabeled because he's got more of a body style of a koi beta fish. And the koi beta fish have small, shorter fins. He's got beautiful colors in him, really brilliant colors that unfortunately this tank doesn't do him justice. I have a clip-on light on the tank so that it's an LED, and so he gets enough light but not so harsh like a tank top light. I've used this light that way they can get away from the bright light since it is an LED, and they can go to the outer edges of the tank if they don't want to be under the direct light. It's now going on 7:15 at night. Usually I shut the light off around 7 p.m. And you'll see that my guys here are enjoying their tank. Now, I've unfortunately using my phone instead of a proper digital camera that has video in it. I am using my phone to do this. So, while you can see them very well, it doesn't include the whole tank, but they spend most of their time where they are right now. There's artificial plants, everything in there is artificial, no live plants. The only thing that's alive in there are the fish. And that's all it needs to be. They like their little leaf beds, as you can see. And my little guy here, Prism, on the right, loves his leaf beds. Usually at night, he'll go snuggle on his leaf bed that's in the front of the tank here that you can see. And he'll go rest on that to sleep. Crimson likes the one that's in the back of the tank, so that's where he likes to go. They got fed around 6 o'clock tonight, a little late, but that's all right because we had a late start to our day. So I make sure that they don't get fed too close together, so they'll have plenty of food and be able to digest it properly so that they don't end up with bloat or anything else that betas are known for. As you can see, Crimson's down back and he's in love with himself. Unfortunately, Sapphire never did recover, and I think what happened with Sapphire from the start is he was not a well-bred fish. He had issues with his air bladder. He wasn't able, I think he bloated and just never could submerge well. It's always a struggle. So he was always at the top, and unfortunately he spent most of his days just laying on his leaf bed, which was sad. Beta fish are supposed to enjoy displaying and having fun. Now these two have gotten along well. My little beautiful boy here on the right, our little baby Prism, he, first day of course, had to figure out the parameters of the tank and managed to find his way to the other side with Crimson. Crimson had been so used to posing and displaying to himself in his reflection, he never even noticed that Prism had gotten on his side of the tank. When he did notice was when I looked over to check on them and found our beautiful little Prism on the other side, going in and out of the vegetation. You can see that there you go is perfect example of a male beta fish putting on what they call a threat display. They expand their gills, which they have a layer of tissue there that expands to try and make them look bigger than they are. And as you can see, my little new toughie here, Prism, is putting on quite a show for Crimson. He's a beautiful baby, very energetic as you can see. He's always moving about and loves his food. If he isn't waiting at the surface for a meal, he's getting lots of exercise, playing in his vegetation, and trying to stir Crimson into displaying with him. He's so far so good. He's behaving perfectly normal for a little baby betta fish. And he has been a bunch of energy and laughter. He does silly little things. And it's great to see him display with Crimson and get Crimson to do a little more exercise than he normally does. Crimson is now probably at least 2 years old now. And he is a big boy. I don't know if our little guy here, Prism, will get that big. Right now, Crimson looks to be the size of some of the wild type bettas they call kings. They're much larger, and that's when they're babies. They look to be the size of Crimson when they're just babies. So, I can't imagine how much bigger they would get. But right now, I'm happy with these two. Unfortunately, Sapphire had to be put down, but he didn't suffer. It was quick, and he's in a better place now. Crimson and Prism, I think, will do just fine. And so far, Prism has now been here for probably almost 2 weeks. And he's a happy little guy, full of energy. They said he was supposed to be an elephant ear female. And what an elephant ear is that the little flippers that you can see that he has that have white on the edges, his front flippers, that they use to get about, are supposed to grow very large. And so it looks like the elephant ear plant.